monsters of destruction behind the scenes, we'll visit with Dave Harkey, the other driver for the Bigfoot team. Then it's off to Winston-Salem, North Carolina. The season's almost to the halfway point and things are heating up. But that's not all. We'll also have some awesome freestyle action. A few weeks ago, Milestone Motorsports announced that the series is going outdoors. With the summer heating up, it's time to get out of the arenas and head to the great outdoors where the action's going to be spectacular. We talked to the MOD gang about their feelings on heading outdoors and how their season's been going so far.
Long wheelbase, I just can't get it together on the roundy round. When we go outside, we got more room, more speed, more turning radius. I'll shine outside. I just can't. I've been practicing, you know. I do my own shows, and I've been setting up every track that I've been to for the last 6-8 weeks, been roundy round, and I run good, and then I come here and I can't run. I just ain't enough room for that big old Dodge, 154-inch wheelbase. Just ain't enough room to turn it. And if you ain't got a Hemi, you ain't gonna win. And Bigfoot put his Hemi in. He's been off the pace a little bit. You know, he ain't been running real good. And you gotta have a Hemi. A Hemi runs. You know.
Are you ready for the outdoors?
Oh, I'm ready for the outdoors. You know, you put 150 feet in between two sets of cars, my Hemi runs. You know, if you're gonna beat me on the outside, I'm either gonna break or you're gonna have to buy another Hemi. You're gonna have to. I ain't getting beat by a Chevy, you know, or a Ford. It's got to be a Hemi.
Oh, I think it's been a horrible season for me. I'm ready to go outside. I really haven't had much fun. There's been something broke all the time, and I've just not been able to run good. And I haven't been doing very well indoors, and I'm not an indoor racer, and I never have been. In my old truck, I could, but for the most part, it's not what I want to do. I want to be outside, so I tend to just sometimes think of it, it's just a show, just get through it and don't tear anything up or get in trouble and go home. But outdoors, I get more competitive. Actually, with the Hemi trucks, you know, if they have two sets of cars, we don't pick up speed until we're almost to the second set of cars. Because not like the other trucks, they're fast off the line, but me, I really start picking up speed once I get going, so I haven't even been able to do that here, so that's nice. And the fact that I'm not gonna have to stop before I hit a wall, maybe just swerve from the telephone poles they might have outside or the light poles and electricity stuff, but other than that, you don't have to worry about running over too much or doing building damage. The stands are pretty far away, so that's nice too.
The one thing that keeps coming up is if you ain't got a Hemi, you ain't got squat. So why is the Hemi engine so important for the outdoors?
Well, the Hemi motors, I've run Hemi motors for 15 years. I ran Hemis back when I pulled. They're a very durable motor. They don't make any more power than a Chevrolet or a different style head. They're just more durable. And again, back to the thing about the durability, you got to be there at the end of the night versus the first round. So that's the thing is you can take, I mean, there's very different kinds. There's Ford Hemis, the Chrysler Hemis, there's the Keith Flag. I mean, there's a lot of different motors based on the same design.
Before this event and the way our scheduling is going now, we're getting ready to go outdoors. A good time to put a big motor in, and we got our big Ford Hemi in it now, is an event like this. You know, you're still indoors. Put a little time on it before you take it outside and actually flog it. I mean, we run them hard in here, don't get me wrong, because we do some gear changes and stuff, but just get a little time on it, get it broke in, and then take it outside, because when we get outside, it's going to be a lot faster and a lot tougher. Outdoors on the long straight line stuff, you do have to shift more, and you got to be on your game. Because you're going faster, the truck reacts faster. I mean, you have to be faster at correcting outdoors than you do indoors because of the speed of the vehicle. So, I mean, a lot of things change outdoors, but like I said before, you got a lot more room, so it makes it a lot easier as far as racing outdoors. Just really looking forward to the second part of this. I am, as a person, as well as the company, but it's very competitive and it's just a neat deal.
Well, I don't know about you, but the rest of the season's going to be insane. When we return, we will visit with Bigfoot's Dave Harkey. the ultimate in motorsports art. Welcome back to Monsters of Destruction Behind the Scenes. Dave Harkey has been around monster trucks for most of his life, and we had a chance to catch up with him in Winston-Salem as he was filling in for the vacationing Dan Running.
Actually, I started with Bigfoot back in 1989, and started off working on the crew, helping work on the trucks, helping the other drivers, and through time just worked my way up into being a driver, and been doing it ever since. Been a long career. Well, Dan or myself, we do most all the races for Bigfoot, and fortunately Dan was on vacation this week down in Cancun, so they sent me up here. Dan actually drives Bigfoot 15 and I drive 14. There's not a real big difference in the trucks, just little quirky things more than anything. He has a little bit different shock setup on the front than I do, but 14 and 15 are real similar. You really got to set up driver style, I guess you'd call it, how each one of us drives. Like Dan, I've changed it since Dan drove 14, and it'd be different for him now, same as for me to jump in 15. It'd be a lot of getting used to and different things. You got to set the truck up for the track and the driver both. We may have a little advantage in the turning. We actually run a little bit shorter wheelbase than some of the other guys, so that does help us in the smaller tracks on turning ability. But favorite, I guess, is for me is turning. I like the turning course a little more than just straight line. Straight line's pretty much whoever can get the quickest reaction time and has the biggest horses is usually going to win. But you go throwing turns and corners in there. It's a little more skill then. Yeah, honestly, it's really hard. We do travel a lot, gone away from home, our own families, so much of the time, and to be able to see the little kids that come through the line, it really makes it worthwhile to be out here doing what we're doing.
Dave Harkey is a true professional. Now let's check out some freestyle action from round 12 of the MOD Tour. Welcome back to MOD. Winston-Salem, North Carolina has some exciting moments. Let's get right to it, starting out with straight line action.
Semi number 1, Spider-Man versus Bigfoot. Rick Swanson, what do you think about this? Jensen's been doing awfully good.
You know, Paul's been doing really good. He's got a light truck. He's got a small wheelbase. He's got a small motor. Blower works extremely good on a small motor. Inside tracks like this, he's got the ideal setup right.
Well, I think you're right, and I think this is going to be interesting because you got Bigfoot, Harkey, David Harkey, and he's a veteran driver, but maybe, I don't know if he can pull it off against Jensen. Jensen looking awfully good. Here's the start.
If anybody can, it'll be Dave.
All right, let's see. There, the clocks come on, and it is Spider-Man, a blistering 2.753 seconds versus 2.909 for Harkey and Bigfoot.
That was an extremely close race, and if you notice, Paul Jensen is still back in the right lane.
He caught on, didn't he? Let's take another look at it. Interesting. We go now to semi number 2, Dragon Slayer against Monster Patrol. Paul Shafer, who's had his problem with mechanical problems recently, will take on the Dragon Slayer of Craig Christensen, the tough country Hummer on the left of your screen. Again, Shafer with that long wheelbase, 2,000 horsepower, but not really good in a small inside arena like this, correct?
No, you know, I definitely have to give the advantage to Craig. He's doing really good. And you notice he's back in that right lane.
And it looks like Winston may have taken that victory. Clocks tell no lies. It is Dragon Slayer, 2.828 seconds. Monster Patrol, 2.866. Extremely close racing for the veterans of the Monster Truck Wars. Straight line final is set. It'll be Dragon Slayer against Spider-Man. The father against the stepson.
Yeah, Paul's going to really have to be quick off the lights because you notice Craig put him in the bad lane right off the bat. So he's going to have to be really fast off the lights and pull a victory in this one.
Reaction time extremely important. They launch, they land. Let's look at the clocks. The victory, I believe, goes to Dragon Slayer. Let's look at it. Yep, 2.759 for Dragon Slayer. 2.875 seconds for Paul Jensen in Spider-Man. What's going on there? He's playing with him a little bit?
He's just playing in front of the crowd, you know, making sure everybody knows that Dad knows best and that kid has to take a lesson.
One more time. Spider-Man on the right, Dragon Slayer on the left. Looked to me like Spider-Man got there a little bit faster, but apparently not.
You know, it looks really close, but that's why we have all the electronic eyes, so it's not a guess, it's reality.
Here's a look at inside Spider-Man. One more time. Spider-Man on the right, Dragon Slayer on the left. Awfully close, though.
Real close. That's what makes good racing.
Let's check the books now. For the straight line drags, Dragon Slayer notches another one. Spider-Man second, Monster Patrol third, Bigfoot Sampson and Amber Skywalker and Kevin Harvick sixth. So Dragon Slayer, Monster Patrol and Bigfoot. Let's go down to the field and Raquel Gardner.
You know, it doesn't surprise me that you won this race because you've been dominating this whole series this year. What are you doing different than anybody else that is keeping you ahead of the rest of the game?
Well, I kind of figured out last night that a lot of air, I'm missing the timing lights with the front tires. I'm having to clip it with the middle of the truck. So I tried in qualifying just to let off as I hit the cars and get the nose to drop, so it drop into the timing lights. It seemed to be working. But you know what? Paul does a great job, and Paul's truck is very fast indoors. And so I think we've raced probably a dozen times, and this is the first time I finally beat the punk.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Oh, here's Paul Jensen, ladies and gentlemen. Paul, what, you're young, you're tough, and you're getting creamed by your stepdad.
Well, like he said, this is the first time. He gives me the small motor, all the old junk off his truck, and I still beat him. Everybody gets lucky.
Oh, you know what?
He's killing me. You got a tissue for the big alligator tears?
Yeah, that's a bunch of crap, I think. I think he taught you everything you know.
Ask him how big his motor is and how big mine is.
Okay, how big's your motor?
454 cubes. His is 468.
Oh, come on. What do you guys think? Do you think that Craig won fair and square, Dragon Slayer?
All right, I'll set the record straight. His is 468, mine's 548. But the boss always gets the good stuff. I'm the guy paying the bill. I guarantee I'm getting the bigger stuff.
That's right. All right, thank you, Paul Jensen and Craig Christensen, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it.
Monster.
Gotta go.
Only at Radio Shack.
Monsters of Destruction Behind the Scenes is brought to you by AmeriGas, America's largest propane company, and by MonsterTruckStore.com, your online source for all monster truck merchandise, and Cruise and Tees, the ultimate in motorsports art.
This is semi number one, Bigfoot against Monster Patrol. Who's got the edge in this one, Rick Swanson?
You know, they're both veterans, but Dave's been doing this a long, long time.
That would be Dave Harkey.
Yeah, you know, Dave's been driving Bigfoot for, since I started. I can remember him giving me lessons.
And also, this is a small arena. There's the long wheelbase Monster Patrol.
Yeah, you know, his is, according to Craig, it's 6 inches longer than his, so I don't know if that would be determined long wheelbase, but I do know it is a little longer than the rest of ours.
Certainly appears that way. Okay, Monster Patrol on the right, Bigfoot on the left. Your screen. Here's the start.
Bigfoot was definitely over that first set of cars a lot quicker.
A lot quicker, and he's extending that lead right now. He goes over the cars as Paul Shafer starts over the other side of the cars. Oh, getting up on the right-hand side there.
Yeah, see, with that extra set of cars inside, you gotta watch out. You can't get in too close to the inside.
Bigfoot setting a blistering pace here now. See if he goes down into the 21 second. Yes, he does. 21.450 for Harkey and Bigfoot. For Monster Patrol, 23.467 seconds. 2 seconds behind Bigfoot to lose, but and that's the difference. 21.45 to 23.4.
Yeah, but you're going up against a legend with Bigfoot, so losing to him is not nothing to hang your head over.
Well, this will be interesting. This is semi number 2. Samson against Dragon Slayer. Craig Christensen and Dragon Slayer against Dan Patrick of the big arm Samson. There he is in the bottom part of your screen.
Yeah, Dan's been around so long. Anybody that races him is doing everything they can to beat him.
Well, that's exactly what it looks like with Christensen. He is on the gas. Oh! Goes off the track and almost into the stands. No damage except to the underwear. Samson, that is going to cost him time, Rick Swanson.
Yeah, it definitely is. You know, Dan built so many trucks, and he's such an icon in the industry that anytime you can race him, you're putting everything on the line to beat him, just for bragging rights.
The main event, Samson against Bigfoot, and we were talking a little earlier about frames and about how they're built. 2 chassis frames. Chandler developed these?
Yeah, Bob Chandler developed them probably about 15 years ago was the first one. What was happening is the old leaf spring trucks, we went from leaf spring to a coilover setup, and then we went to the nitrogen charged shocks, which we all run today. But back when Bob started all this, Dan Patrick actually worked for Bigfoot and was one of the key individuals in building the truck.
That's him sitting behind the wheel in the Samson machine right now.
Yeah, when they first actually did the nitrogen charged tube frame, they considered it the unrollable truck.
What happened when they first took it out? They had a problem?
They took it out to the field out behind the shop. First thing they did was, let's see if it'll roll. Let's see if it'll roll. And boom, there it went.
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the main event. The Chicago-style racing, a couple of seasoned veterans, Dan Patrick and Samson, and Dave Harkey and Bigfoot.
You know, you got the best of the best out here for driving-wise and equipment.
Now, they don't make many mistakes, do they? Or can they make mistakes in something like this?
You know, mistakes can happen no matter who's driving. With these two out here, you don't expect to see mistakes, but things can happen.
They are definitely not rookies. All right, the start. They both get off the line clean. Samson on the gas around the left-hand turn over the cars. Bigfoot and Samson very evenly matched. Let's see who pulls it off. They're running extremely close. You can see as you look diagonally across the track.
Look at Dan with that big horsepower Hemi motor. You notice he used all the shutdown room he could.
Right, he slammed on the binders right before he hit the wall. Let's look at the clocks. Bigfoot against Samson. Oh, both of them broke the 21-second barrier. Samson wins it 20.836 seconds. Bigfoot right behind him, 20.953. The only 2 trucks tonight to go past or into the 21-second mark. 20 seconds, incredible, so close.
I guess we'll all get to see the actual face of Dan Patrick instead of the truck now. He gets to do the interview.
One more look at the start from Samson's point of view. On the gas all around, they're not backing off a bit, Rick Swanson.
And you know, he's taking those corners, he's just making a giant U out of them. He's not, squaring it off. He's just a constant turn,
sliding
up and over the next car.
Right, smoother than a mayonnaise sandwich as he slams on the brakes. You're seeing 2 of the best in the business, Rick Swanson. Let's take another look at Bigfoot Harkey's start. Let's talk us through this one.
Well, he gets a good start. He's really smooth. Everything's going good. But unfortunately, he's against Dan that's just making a flawless run. Not that Dave's doing anything wrong. Dave's been in the business a long time. He's real smooth. He's really quick. It comes down to what driver's getting out past the lights first.
And just so close, both 20 seconds. 20.836 for Samson, 20.953 seconds for Bigfoot. Unbelievable. The fastest times of the night in the main event, and the crowd is getting their money's worth on this one.
It was only the fastest times because I was there in my truck.
I was wondering when you're going to bring that up.
Yeah, my truck's doing some sponsorship work on the West Coast, so I flew in to watch the event.
My next obsession. Let's look at the standings. The Chicago style results. Samson, Bigfoot, Monster Patrol, Dragon Slayer, Kevin Harvick, and Spider-Man. For Chicago style racing, the point stands: Dragon Slayer 220, Bigfoot, Monster Patrol, Spider-Man, and Monster Moose. Let's go down the field and Raquel Gardner. Raquel?
You guys have been in the business a long time.
I'm with Boston Real Estate.
You guys were that was a pretty close race tonight, huh?
Yeah, Dave's a great competitor. I always like racing Bigfoot in the finals. We've done it for years and years, and I don't know who's won more or less, but it's always a good race when we're out there.
Now, what do you think gave you the advantage in this particular race over Dave and Bigfoot?
Embarrassment from last night.
What happened last night?
I didn't do very well last night.
Well, you sure made up for it tonight.
Well, that's all the time we have for this week's show. Be sure to log on to monstersofdestruction.com for all the summer tour information. Remember, there are men, there are machines, and then there are monsters of destruction.